Okay, so today's practice, we're gonna work on a lot of hip area rotation. So I don't know what your background is, but the core, a lot of people think is just superficial abs.
Right.
It's much more than that.
Okay.
It's called your LPHC, which is your lumbar complex, which is basically all your abdominals, because that's what keeps your spine from wiggling around
Yeah, I
like
probably
crazy.
could use that. 'Cause
Your pelvic area,
okay.
which obviously keeps us women birthing babies.
Yeah.
And then your hip complex. So
Okay.
all of that is the
Okay,
core.
that's good.
So that's kind of what we're gonna work on today. And if things get too intense, just back off.
Okay.
I already told you, take what you need from each day.
Yep.
Good.
Sounds good.
All right, so you're gonna come to the top of your mat, or the bottom of your mat here, excuse me. Stand up nice and tall in mountain pose. Grounding down through the feet. You can close your eyes if you want to. Arms extended by your side. Nice active legs. Tall spine all the way through the top of your head. Next inhale, you're gonna send the arms up overhead. Nice big full body stretch. And exhale, fold all the way down into a forward fold. Give yourself a nice generous bend with the knees here. Maybe you straighten one leg, bend the other, kind of walk it out a little bit. Just allowing your body to warm up.
I do not want to straighten.
Yeah, neither do I. I think that's one thing when people practice yoga, they're like, oh, I should be able to touch my toes automatically. I'm like, no, there's a warm-up process just like there is for anything else. All right, we're gonna walk it out to a plank here. And again, if you need to drop down to your knees to modify, feel free. And when you're ready, you can inhale, shift forward, and then lower all the way down to the earth here. Flipping the toes, making them flat. And then coming up into your version of Cobra. Your very first version of Cobra today. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back body. And go ahead and let the forehead melt down to the earth. On your next exhale, give it a big push and send your hips up and then back into downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal the feet out, take any kind of free movement here that you may need. It's early in the morning, early in the practice. One more big breath. And exhale. Go ahead and walk the hands back to the feet. Finding that forward folded position again. Again, nice generous bend at the knees. And when you're ready, we're gonna inhale, root to rise, send the arms up overhead. Nice big full body stretch. Exhale, cactus the arms open, opening the chest, the throat. Hold it here for just a couple breaths. And then let the arms float down by the side. We're gonna go ahead and step forward, with the right leg. Okay, coming into a lunge position. You're gonna send the arms up overhead. Nice big full body stretch. Now from here, you can bring your arms down to your hips. We're gonna start here, and if you wanna add in any other movements with your arms, you can feel free, but we'll start here, okay? So we're in this this front lunge position, where you should start to feel that stretch out of your hip flexor here. We don't want to forget about our internal muscles as well. So we're gonna go ahead and shift it back, coming into a side lunge position. There you go.
Should I face?
No, you're good, and then same, yeah, there you go. You should start to feel that on the inside of your right leg.
Yeah.
Yep, nice and easy. All right, come back into front lunge position. We're just gonna move through that fluid position however you want. And again, if you wanna add some funky arms to it for balance, feel free. Moving back through side lunge. And front lunge again. Might notice yourself getting deeper into your lunge as your body's starting to warm up. Transferring back into side lunge. Two more. Coming back through front lunge. Oof. And side lunge. One more front lunge for me on this side. Oh. And then side lunge again. All right, now this time from side lunge, we're just gonna go ahead and come into a straddle position, so a wide-legged position facing the back of your mat here, or the side of your mat rather, and then just fold over. Again, the same thing as if you're doing a forward fold, you can let the hands rest down to the earth. Just pausing for a minute. Letting the head hang heavy. Releasing any tension that you may have in your upper back. And when you're ready, go ahead and slowly bring yourself back up. We're just going to transfer right over to a front lunge on your left side. Make some adjustments if you need to. Ooh, I feel this one deep down in my quad.
Yeah, I can tell I really need to stretch.
Coming into the side lunge position.
It's like you think you stretch until you move.
Until you move and you're like, oh my. Front lunge. I like it when they do, I guess you could call this dynamic stretching, right? Because you're stretching and moving at the same time. It's not totally static.
Yeah.
Coming into a side lunge. But I like it when you're able to stretch and then also build strength at the same time.
Yeah.
Front lunge. Oh boy. Side lunge. I'm getting deep into something there. I don't know what it is. It's all that stress.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I know where mine's from, but it was on my right side.
Yeah.
Coming into that front lunge position here. Get two more of these. Mine's been constantly doing this all day in the mail truck. Shortening that hip flexor
Yeah.
from leaning. So whenever I straighten it out,
Uh-huh.
it's like, oh, hey, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
coming into that side lunge.
You couldn't avoid that, could you?
No. Especially this time of the year.
Right.
And one more front lunge on the left hand side for me. Right? And side lunge. Coming back into that wide-legged straddle. Go ahead and bend over and again forward fold, letting the head hang heavy. And I want you to play around with where your weight is landing at a little bit. If you lean back towards your heels, you may feel a deeper stretch in the hamstrings. If you shift your weight forward, putting it more into your toes, you may feel it in a different area. So just kind of move a little bit back and forth, finding where your deepest stretch is for what your body needs today. When you're ready, go ahead and press ourselves back up, and we're just going to step to the top of our mat here. And we're going to be moving into a low lunge position, so go ahead and forward fold, deep forward fold. Oh, I could just stay here forever. This is like my thing. All right, from here, you're gonna take your left leg and step it back. So you'll be coming into this low lunge position on your right side. Now, right now we have the knee lifted. I'm gonna go ahead and have you drop that knee down to the earth and untuck the back toes, okay? And then from here, you're gonna plant the left hand down to the best of your ability to the earth, hopefully in line with your foot. And you're gonna inhale the right arm open to the side, coming into this twist. Just finding some space in the spine. And then bringing the right hand back down to the earth. From here, we're gonna come into half splits. So you're just gonna push yourself back, straightening out the right leg. And at this point, the hips should be relatively in line with each other. Excuse me, with that left hip stacked over the left knee. You don't want to be too far back. And if you want to deepen the stretch, I want you to think about your right hip crease. Think about pulling it back, kind of like you're straightening your hips out. You should feel it go all the way down your right leg.
Yes.
Possibly into your foot. And then come through the low lunge position again. Feeling a little deeper into your hip flexor. If you let the right knee track off a little bit, let it open up to the right side, sometimes that can give you a little extra movement there. Deeper stretch, as long as it's not too far winging out there.
Yeah.
Come back through your half splits again. Again, drawing that right hip crease back. Even though it's a stretch, it's still active. Coming back through low lunge again. Getting a little deeper each time.
Yeah.
Back through that half splits. Oh. Back through low lunge. We have 2 more of these. And half splits. Oof. Back through your last low lunge on this side. And your half split. And then for fun, see how far you can go down a natural split. Send that leg out. Just see. This is how you can you can check yourself.
Right here.
That's it, all right?
No.
So see, that means next time you go to try this, you'll be like, all right, I can go further. There you go.
Oh, it hurts.
Beautiful. All right, bring it back.
I'll pull my hands.
Don't do that. All right, so step it back very slowly through tabletop. Pardon me. Go ahead and plant the shoulders under the wrists here. We're gonna come up into a plank position, and you're gonna bring that left foot forward in between, as best you can, in between your hands here. Again, finding that lunge position. Once you're in a good solid lunge position, you're gonna drop that back knee, untuck the toes. This is your low lunge with your left leg forward. Go ahead and plant the right hand, and And then send the left arm up to the sky with a nice
Yeah,
deep
this side's
twist.
harder.
Yes. Go ahead and float the left hand back down to the earth. And then we're gonna pull back into our half splits on the left side. Again, hips should be in line. Holy cow, I feel that all the way through my calf. This side is way tighter for me today.
I thought my other side was tight.
Right? You get here, you're like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this today. And then come back through your low lunge position. But I think it's good though that you like recognize that, right? Because that means you're like listening to your body. When your body's like, excuse me, I'm here, thank you. Coming back through your half splits. Remember to draw that left hip crease back, trying to get those hips more in line with each other, deepening the stretch in the back of the left leg. Coming through to the low lunge position. Flowing through to half splits. Coming through to low lunge. And half splits. Last low lunge here. And then your half splits. And then, like I said, for fun, if you want to, you can extend yourself all the way out to a full split. Easier said than done, I know.
Oh, geez, I used to be able to do the splits.
Yeah, me too. It's like I watch some of the kids in karate and they're like, I can do that. And I'm like, must be nice. I remember those days.
Yep.
All right, and then bringing yourself back, pardon me, tabletop.
Do you do karate too?
Yeah, with my kids.
Where at, right in town here?
Yeah, at the JD Karate and Fitness Studio.
Is that on Miller Road still?
Yes, right next to the
Plaza?
smoothie shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been there for
They have cardio kickboxing too.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Back in the day when I was young, in my 20s, I used to, even before I used to do aerobics up there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, way back.
Way back in the day.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move through a couple of cat-cows now. So on your next inhale, I want you to drop your belly, open your chest. Oh boy. Coming through your cow position. And then exhale around the spine, push away from the mat with your shoulders. Coming to cat. Inhale, coming through cow. Exhale, moving through cat. Inhale through cow. And exhale through cat. Come back to a neutral position. And I just want you to sit back on your heels for a second. Sitting up nice and tall. So we're gonna do frog pose next, which is gonna be stretching out the middle, but while we're there, we're gonna be working on kind of this movement here, okay? Some people call it opening and closing the jaw. What it is it's getting your internal muscles, your internal abdominal muscles to really contract, which is what builds your pelvic floor. So from here, I just want you to practice kind of banana backing, as I call it, where you're arching your back, your hips are forward, think like you were in cow position, right? And then what you wanna do is close that and come through cat, bring those hips back into that neutral position. But don't round fully out in the back of the spine. And then come through a seated cow again, so arching that back, dropping the belly out. And then bring it back in through cat, contracting it in. You're squeezing all those lower abdominals there. One more time, relax, coming through cow. And then we're gonna close it up, coming through cat, squeezing all the way down through the pelvic floor. Go ahead and release. Kind of wiggle your spine out here. You're gonna face the side of your mat, starting in the tabletop position. You can face me, if it's easier. From here, you're gonna start to walk the knees out wide. Now, frog, you turn your feet out to the side.
Okay.
Some people, if you can get them 90 degrees, that's great. That doesn't happen for a lot of people because our hips and our knees and all of us, we're just built differently, right?
Mhm.
So if you let those feet come in a little bit, your heels come in a little bit more towards your bottom, that will make this easier.
Oh, okay.
But just go down as far as you can and you just bring your elbows down, pardon me, to the ground and just relax, letting the head fall heavy. And again, make any adjustments that you like. If your feet are too far in, you can send them out for a deeper stretch. If they're too far out, bring them in. Think about where you're, just like we did in the side straddle position, think about where your weight is landing. Is it landing really far forward? Is it landing really far back? I guarantee you, if you push back towards your heels, you're gonna feel it a lot deeper. So finding what you want today out of the practice. And we are gonna be here for several breaths, so just relax as best you can into it. You may notice the longer that you're in the stretch, you start to get that banana back that we just did.
Mhm.
But this is where that closing of the jaw, closing of it, coming into cat, really contracting those lower abdominal muscles. Again, I know, easier said than done. But that's where this comes into play at. So we're not arching into our spine.
Yeah.
So we're stretching and building all at the same time.
Hope we don't get stuck like this.
Oh, you won't. I'll help you get out of
I'm
it if you
just
do.
kidding.
Just walk over and give you a little push. You'd be like, oh, my hip. I just remember like when I was a kid, I did gymnastics
Wow.
and we would do like the middle splits, and if you didn't go all the way down,
Oh.
somebody would like come over and like push
Oh,
down.
that's
And
bad.
I remember thinking like, back then, that was fine, that was normal, that was just the
Right.
way of gymnastics, and now I'm like, why would you do that?
Right. Pull your hamstrings.
Oh, God. The pain. All right, go ahead and press your hands into the floor, start to sit up, start to lean forward, and then you can slowly start to bring those feet in, and then walk your knees in very slowly. I know. Give yourself a little wiggle here. You can face tabletop back towards the top of your mat here. You just kind of wiggle your hips around a little bit, because I know that took a lot out of them. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and plant your feet on the ground, but with the toes tucked under, and you're just gonna sit back onto your heels and then slowly start to press yourself up, excuse me, to like this seated toe stand type of position. So you're gonna start to feel the stretch in the bottom of the feet here. It can get pretty intense. So if it becomes too much, just take the amount of pressure that you're putting on them off. we're on our feet all day
Yeah,
and we don't ever stretch them.
I know, you don't think about it.
No, instead we just complain about how much our feet hurt. But our foot positions and our foot muscles drive a lot of what our balance, our posture, how other little muscles in our body react. So it's important to take care of them. Two more breaths. All right, go ahead and come back into tabletop, uncurl the toes, and you're gonna be like, oh wow, and go ahead and pat them out on the mat here. Give them a little wiggle themselves. And when you're ready, you're gonna, again, find that stillness in tabletop. And we're gonna do some hip circles. So we're gonna start on our left side. From here, you're pretend you got a marker on the end of your knee, and you wanna draw a huge circle going forward with the kneecap on the left side, coming back once it gets to the middle, reverse directions. Coming forward. Now, keep going at whatever pace you would like. A lot of people tend to lean over to the right-hand side when we're doing this, which is natural, right? Because we're laying on one leg. But this is where that core work comes in, trying to keep yourself in that neutral position, trying to keep it balanced between the hands and not leaning to one side. One more in each direction. Go ahead and find stillness, plant it down, take a little wiggle here if you need it. And when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So with your right knee, remember you got that marker on the kneecap, draw this big circle as you can. Remember to reverse directions when you're doing it. Be mindful of that core, trying to keep the weight balanced as best you can. Give me one more in each direction. Go ahead and find that stillness, taking any wiggles that you may need. Oh, okay, now we're gonna go ahead and spin it around. We're gonna come into a seated, position. Sending the legs out long in front of you. Whew. All right, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna widen the legs a little bit. Oh, go ahead and stretch down, giving yourself a nice forward folded position. Try to keep the back a little more straight, deepening into those hamstrings. And then sit up nice and tall. Now we're gonna work on those hip flexors and those quads, right? Because we gotta keep it even between the hamstring and the quads with the muscles here. You're gonna take, you can either put your hands in front of you or behind you. If you are behind you, try not to lean back too far, because this is where your core part comes into play here. But you're gonna try your best to pick up your left leg and then bring it to the center of the mat. There you go. And then send it back out. Okay? Now do your right leg. Pick it up, bring it to the center of the mat, send it back out to the side. So give me 5 more on each side at your pace. You can do all left, all right, whatever you want to do. Just pick it up, bring it in, send it back out.
Oh, it doesn't pick up.
Right? It can take many, many years of strength to build this one. But this is great for people who have to have knee replacements.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because your quad has to be at a certain strength level in order for you to get a knee replacement.
Oh, you're alternating, I'm doing it all.
Oh, it doesn't matter, you can do either
Oh.
one, whatever you wanna do. Your quad has to be at a certain level of strength in order for you to get a knee replacement, or the muscle won't be strong enough to hold the replacement in place, so it'll
Oh, okay.
reject it, basically.
Wow.
Oh, I got one more. My quads are burning. I noticed as I keep doing them, I keep leaning back further and further
Yeah.
and further.
Yeah, I could feel
You're
that
just
too.
tired. Go ahead and wiggle them out here. All right, go ahead and face me. We're gonna come to the center-ish of the mat. You can lean back with your hands this time. We're gonna start by windshield wipering those legs back and forth. Go ahead and find stillness at the top. Pardon me, you're gonna take your left knee, just your left knee, and drop it down to the best of your ability and bring it back up. It might not touch the ground.
Yeah.
Drop it down and back up. Down and back up. One more time. Good. And now do your right knee. Bring it down. Oh boy, back up. Feel the tightness in that one. Coming through that IT band on the side of my leg. It's like, hey girl, I'm here. Don't forget about me. One more. Okay. Now we're gonna come into what's called 90-90. So it's kind of like a modified pigeon pose. So you're gonna, excuse me, take your right leg, you could do your left if you wanna just mirror me. And coming into like this weird position on your side, right? And then take your hips and your body, face it towards the front of your mat. Now, if you're super flexible, you can get this leg like out here without like leaning way too far off to the side, but this doesn't help me if I'm like super leaning. That's why I tuck that foot in, because you wanna try to be grounded as much as you can. And if this front leg isn't completely straight, it's fine. It's probably just the way your body's built. It can come in a little bit if that's necessary. But we're just gonna sit up nice and tall. Go ahead and plant your, what is this, your right hand, your left hand, your outside hand to the ground here, just to give yourself some support to sit up nice and tall. All right, you ready for a challenge? You're like, no.
I don't know.
All right, from here, and if you need to put your hands down on the ground for support, feel free. You're gonna rock through into a center position as best you can.
Okay.
All right, and then rock back down. And when you come back down, this is the fun part. See if you can pick your foot up off the ground.
Oh, geez.
It's activating. Yeah, there you go. Put it back down. Yep, come back through center. It's activating some of those smaller glute muscles that we don't use as often, but they're excellent for stabilizing.
Okay.
Coming back through center. You're gonna be walking around today and be like, dang it, Amanda. Lift that back heel. You feel like you'll feel it more tomorrow?
Probably.
Right.
It's good though, it's a good sword.
Back to center. Back down. Lift it up. Put it back down. Oh, one more. Back to center. Oh. All the way over. Lift it up. Like a kick at somebody. Put it back down. Excellent. Now, the next step to progress this is coming up onto this knee in the front. Now, when you do this, we're going to do it supported at first. So you can go ahead and plant your outside hand to the ground. And when you come up, as best you can, you're going to go ahead and just bring it over like you're opening up the side body here. And then set it back down. And then bring it up. And it might not be a big movement, but that's okay. And back down. And up. And back down. But you can see how this is a stretch as well as a strengthening exercise.
Yeah. That's good.
Bring it up. And back down. Okay. Now, yeah, if you can do it, this is like your next level up. Let's go back a little bit. That you can do it unsupported. So give yourself a challenge. See if you can do it. See if you can come up without using your hands. Hey, look at that. You did it. Now, you ready for the next one? If you need to put your hands down for this one, you can. See if you can swing this foot forward and come through a stretch. There you go. Deep stretch. Now, this is the hard part. Bring it back with control. So kind of bring it back to this upper position. There you go. And then sit it back down. Gentle. Yeah, see, you did it. Can you give me 2 more of those, you think?
Maybe.
All right, let's try it. So come on up. Pause with control. Good. Ooh. See, I gotta catch my balance when I do it. Forward. And you can do it at your own pace. Just do it with control. And one more. Up. That leg does not want to come forward for me. And back. Ooh. Very good. All right, now we're gonna come back to center. Just kind of wipe with those legs for a minute. Just relax. We're gonna do the other side now. I know you're so excited.
I'm curious to see if I can do it as easily.
That's always the fun part when you like compare sides.
Yeah.
Oh, this side was way easier than the other side. All right.
This will be my dominant.
There you go.
But we'll see.
All right, so coming through that 90-90 position. Again, your version. It's not 100% 90-90.
So have my right leg forward. not
Yeah,
my right
there you
leg
go. It's not 100% 90-90. We get it. We understand. Ooh, I just need to pause here for a second because that hip flexor is like, hey girl. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and bring it through center, just like we did before. Back down, and then lift that heel boop, boop, off the ground. Yep, back down, good. Back through center. Back down, pop that heel up. Get some things. Back through center. And down. Lift it up. 2 more. And 1 more. Kick up. All right. Now we're going to do our supported knee one. So it's the one where we come up on the knee, outside of the hand, just plant it to the ground with that big side body stretch. So whenever you're ready, inhale, bring it up. Oh, big body, side body stretch. Oh, back down. Up. Down. Okay, 3 more. Your pace. Okay, you ready for your challenge?
Yeah.
You got this. All right, whenever you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and raise on up. Good, and then bring that back leg through, lunge it out, and then with control, bring it back. And sit it back down to the earth. I know.
Can't balance for some
And
reason.
up. Through. And back. We're like a mirror image of each other there. I saw it out the corner of my eye. Last one. Up. And through. Back. Ooh.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, right. And then bring it back through center. Just give yourself a nice wiggle here. Oh boy. Hips feeling challenged.
Yeah.
Good.
Good in a good way, yeah.
I say you'll walk around later and be like, what's she doing?
I know. I'm crippled.
Right. So we're gonna come through our tabletop position here in the center of the mat. We're gonna move into pigeon pose. just to kind of straighten out some more of those hips. Okay, so when you do pigeon, we're gonna come up into a down dog position. And the reason we do this is because we need space to get our legs up to where they need to be. So you can inhale the right leg up, doesn't need to be high. And then like we practiced, I think before, we're gonna bring the right knee to the right elbow and then turn it and sit it down. So the knee should be to the outside of your hip here. So bring that knee out, there you go. And then this leg may not be, your front leg may not be parallel with the front of the mat. It's just how your hips are built. We're all built differently. It doesn't have to be that way. For me, if I make it go there, it puts too much strain on my knee and I don't like that. But try to keep your hips square, not to dump off to one side or the other. And that back leg is actively pressing into the ground. Excuse me, you're sitting up nice and tall. Nice big stretch through the chest and the throat. Now, if you do this at home and you want to relax a little bit more into it, you can take like books or blocks and stack them under the glute of the leg that's bent, and that gives you like a lot of support there. And if you're able to, we can drop it down to our elbows. This is also where books or blocks can come in handy. Just place them under your elbows here just for some support. Go ahead and bring it back up and unfold yourself, coming back into down dog. However you want to get there is fine. Get to the other side. Get your version down dog. You may notice that the right leg feels like way different than the left leg now because one side's stretched out and one side's not.
Yeah.
Once you're in down dog, you can go ahead and inhale that left leg up and then bring left knee, left elbow, and then bring the leg parallel as best as you can get it to the front of the mat. Oh, nice active back leg, big extension through the chest and the throat area.
Did I want my knee out more or in?
Out.
Okay.
Out. Send it out, yeah. I always think of it as like, if my hands are parallel, like with my shoulders here, if they were under my shoulders, I always put my knee to the outside of the hand. Because that is typically, it creates more space for your hips just to be able to open up there. Because we got muscles and all kinds of other things, ligaments and stuff in there. We don't want to be pinching them too tight. And then go ahead and come down to your elbows. Come on out of this. Hit one more down dog. Get there however you please. Oh. Excellent. Come down through tabletop and then swing your legs around to where we're going to be seated on our bottoms here. Pardon me. And we'll go ahead and gently just roll yourself back to the earth, coming to a supine or on your back position, pulling those knees into the chest, just rocking it back and forth. When you're ready, we're going to find happy baby. So go ahead, if you're able to, take your index fingers and wrap them around your big toes. If you're not able to reach that far, you can just grab your shins here, and then you're going to kick your heels out and up to the sky. Think about a baby. Babies do this all the time. Now, if the toe lock, which is what we do with our index finger, is not something that you enjoy, it's not reaching for you, you can reach the outside of your foot as well. Just offering you different options here. Those elbows can press into the knees here to kind of help create some more space in between the legs. And your tailbone should be down on the earth. So this is part of where those pelvic floor muscles come in to really push that lower spine and the tailbone into the earth. Trying to make your spine as long as possible from your coccyx all the way up through the crown of your head. Go ahead and relax, letting the feet fall down to the earth. Give them a little windshield wiper action here. Then go ahead and send legs out long, arms out long. Above you, give yourself a nice, huge, full body stretch. Then at your exhale, relax into your version of Shavasana. Letting your feet fall open and placing the hands wherever you would like today. And trust that I will guide you out in just a few moments. You're ready, you're going to start to bring your awareness back into the hands and the toes, hands and the feet rather, and then awareness into the arms and the legs. Your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them, and then we're going to roll ourselves onto our sides, very gently pausing for a second. So we don't get no head rushes, we don't need that.
Yeah.
And then press yourself up into a seated position of your choice. Sitting up nice and tall, bringing those hands into heart center, bringing them up to the third eye, which is your forehead, and thank yourself for showing up today.
Thank you for
Thank
showing
you.
up for one person.